All right. So any project that we receive, first it starts with collecting data on whatever the project requirements are. We gather the data from different sources, like primary, secondary, about which I'll be mentioning about in later. So first would be gathering and interpreting the data. Then the second step is formulating those data and making a final report about it, finding trends based on the data that has been received. Then from these trends, recommendations are made based on consumer needs, pricing strategies, and to analyze the competition and etc. Right. So, key responsibilities of a market research analyst. It includes collecting data and analyzing data, which I just mentioned. It also involves designing surveys. So you might not know what a survey is. So a survey, when uh, when someone wants to gather data, they they program a survey which consists of all questions. These uh, these surveys might contain detailed information about the product or whatever the client wants to know about. So designing surveys and conducting interviews are common tasks for analysts, as these help gather more detailed information. They also compile statistics and examine the consumer demographics, helping the businesses understand who their customers are and who they want and what they want. Sorry. The next slide, please. So these are the types of market research. So basically, it can be divided into two. It is primary and secondary. It's the source that we get the data from. Primary research is hands-on. It's like gathering data directly from the source, like surveys or interviews or focus groups. And secondary research, on the other hand, it involves analyzing existing data. It could include industry reports or market studies or published journals, things like these. So both these approaches are really important and often are used in complement to each other in building a complete picture for the market. All right. So this is now to succeed as a successful market research analyst. Certain skills and qualifications make all the difference. For PharmD graduates, as such, our educational backgrounds already provide a strong foundation in terms of healthcare market research. Here, analytical skills is really important. Attention to detail is really important. And for starters, statistical softwares like Tableau are these are not as important, but a strong hold on Excel is really important. So currently, the projects that I work on, most of the analysis is done on Excel, and familiarity to it is of top-notch importance. Along with that, strong communication is no-go. If it doesn't have to be mentioned in any kind of a job role, strong communication is really important. So in scenarios where there would be scenarios as a market research analyst where you would have to conduct interviews in non-English speaking geographies. For example, it could be Sweden or Belgium or Netherlands, where the primary language is not English. So the respondents who would be giving us the data might not speak as good English So our English needs to be really good so that we can explain to them what the question exactly means, so that we can get the data that we want from them. All right. So currently, from what I've researched, market the the job market for market research analysts is growing, and I think it's exciting. With businesses now, they're more relying on data-driven strategies. What it really means is they want data from the field so that they can make decisions based on that. There's a high demand for this skilled professionals in this field, and compared to other jobs, I feel the growth rate here is good, which shows how important this role is becoming. And I personally feel it's a promising career for anyone who is really interested into analysis and strategic decision making and the marketing side of pharmaceuticals. And in the pharmaceutical industry, market research is really impactful. So it helps companies understand shifting consumer preferences. It helps by adjusting their product offerings, and even ensure the success of new medication launches. And by tapping into what the market needs, businesses can make better decisions that benefit not just their bottom line, but also the patients they serve. But it also has a few challenges that come with this role. Could you please move to the next slide, please? So the main challenges are mentioned here. The first challenge is reaching out to the target audiences. So identifying the right audience to get the data from is really important, as it uh, there can be budget constraints, and ethical considerations must be kept in mind. So there are ethical rules that need to be followed for any market research study, and there's a lot of planning that goes behind each and every market research study. But I feel these challenges are manageable with thorough planning and commitment to ethical practices, and new research techniques such as online surveys. It has made it more easier now, and it is helping us analysts deliver a reliable and quality data to our clients, and it is helping us make a difference. Thank you. So if there's any question, I'm willing to take them up. Please mention them
If
in the
anyone
chat
have
box.
any questions, you can put your questions in chat box.
What kind of questions are asked during surveys? Um, so I could explain this with an example. So suppose a big pharma manufacturer already has a product in a certain geography. Let's assume it to be England. So question, and they want to know how the product is doing, what the doctors feel about the product, and how the medical reps are engaging with the doctors and how it's influencing the prescribing of that medication. So each and every study varies by their objective. So this is just an example. So if the example that I just gave, if that's the objective, so questions could be which how often do the medical reps visit you for this particular drug? And it would be on a scale of 1 to 10 that the doctor would uh, have to answer on. Then there could be questions like, what are your perceptions about this drug? Is there anything that is stopping you from prescribing this drug? Is there anything that you would like the medical reps to do, uh, like in terms of giving you information that you would like so that it would influence your prescribing of that drug? So these kind of questions could be a part of the survey. So, but then it completely depends on what kind of survey is running, what the objective of the survey is.